right, with the engine running, it's pretty evident that the oil pressure and fuel level gauges are functioning correctly, but the tach, voltmeter, and water temp gauges are not. Here's what I did to diagnose the problem. Now, the voltmeter is the simplest to diagnose. As long as you've got system voltage going into it and a ground connection on the other side, well, it should function correctly. Now, pin number 8, the green and yellow wire, is our battery or system voltage point. And we're good, we got 12.38 volts. So we switch the meter over to a continuity test, attach the other lead to a good known chassis ground, and complete the test. And it's pretty obvious, we've got a good connection. All right, well, now that we know the problem is isolated to the instrument cluster, let's take a closer look. Now, on the back of the instrument cluster is the printed circuit, or the circuit board for the instrument cluster. And these squiggly lines are called traces, and they're what carry the current to the bulbs or gauges. Now, this is what a good trace is supposed to look like. It's basically a flattened copper wire laminated in plastic. This trace here obviously has some problems. There's definitely a continuity issue here. This one, well, looks like it needs some repair as well. Here's another bad one right here, and it's the main power supply for a lot of the bulbs that aren't functioning. Now, to fix this stuff, you've got a few different options, and none of them are that complicated. All you're trying to do is essentially complete the circuit where it's partially damaged. Now, in between these two terminals, there's no continuity. We've got a dead spot here in the trace, so we're going to fix it with a simple jumper wire. Our little red jumper wire is basically just providing an alternate current path. And now, 0.2 ohms, that's perfect. Another option is this rear window defroster repair kit. This is a conductive liquid that brushes on, and when it dries, it acts very similar to a wire. A little fine line tape will keep you from painting outside the lines. Now, this spot does have continuity, but it's clearly been damaged, so we're just going to reinforce it. First, get rid of the plastic, get down to the copper. We just want to isolate this trace from the others. Now, the other traces are laminated in plastic and somewhat protected, but I want to keep the repair confined to this area. And give it a few coats and we should be good. A little extra material will make sure that the repair can handle the current load. Now, the repair in this burned up spot is definitely a little bit more aggressive. This is asking a lot of the liquid, but we'll see how it does. I'm probably being a little excessive here, but it's got to carry current, so I'm going to give it the best shot it can. Now, the repair's not the most aesthetically pleasing, but in this case, it's definitely function over form. All right. Less than 1 ohm of resistance. That's pretty good for a liquid. And just like insulation protects a copper wire, a little bit of clear packing tape will help protect our repair and give us the best chance at success. All right, now parts of that repair weren't that pretty, but it's hard to argue with results. Check it out, we've got bulbs lighting up that we didn't have before, and our gauges are working. Pretty cool. And it sure beats forking over about $300 for a remanufactured cluster.